Hey, it's Mazzy, and this is for Poetry on Plastic. Okay, I'm waiting. With needle drops. I used to play timpani in the junior high school 8th grade orchestra. Okay, you get it, right? So, my friend Michael, Poetry in Plastic, is a classical oboist. He has his channel, Poetry on Classic. There is a link below. He hit 10,000 subscribers. He's having a celebration, a contest, and he has 6 questions to answer. And he has turned me on to a lot of great classical music. This is the Portsmouth Symphonia, plays the popular classics, Columbia Records, 1974. This is one of those records we'd play in the record store a lot when we were trying to close up and get rid of customers, but it's so good. It's so good. I don't even know the history. I could read this, I forgot. It's like the classic greatest hits segmented. Anyway, Michael has a great channel, a lot of classical music, a lot of Japanese pop, some dark doom metal stuff. I mean, he's all over. He likes some classic rock too, so. And he plays the oboe, I already said that, didn't I? So I've learned a lot from him, and I feel, one thing I like about this whole vinyl community thing through YouTube and the people I met virtually, some I've met in person, I haven't met Michael in person, but I want to celebrate and congratulations to Michael. And this isn't actually even the answer to my first question. The first question that he wants us to answer is, just show a classical record. If you don't have one, well, I do have, I got a lot of, that's my classical section right there. I even have, see, it's official, I have classical records. But in the 70s, when I worked in record stores, this is a record that I got, it just intrigued me. And this is my copy from them. This is Harry Parch, Delusion of the Fury. He is a modernist composer, inventor, music theorist, born in Oakland, California, died in the West Coast also. I think he lived at about 73, 74 years old. And what's really interesting about him, he invented his own instruments. And this is Ritual of a Dream and Delusion Ensemble of instruments conducted by Dan Lee Mitchell, supervised by the composer. So he was alive when he recorded this 2-record set that Columbia Classics put out. It's a picture of Harry Parch, really interesting life, and I haven't read his book on, what is it, the Genesis of Music or something like that, but he invented all his own instruments, which are variations, and he built them himself. A lot of like piano-based, percussive-based instruments, and just really, really interesting work. So if you like something off kilter, not the traditional type of things, this is something you may want to check out. Harry Parch on Columbia Masterworks. This is early 70s, I believe it came out. I love this stuff. Harry Parch. show the heaviest record in your collection. Now, this is my first heavy record.
Sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do. No, there ain't no cure for the summertime blues.
Vincimus Erupted, 1968 Bay Area band.
Papa told me, son, you got to make some money.
This ain't no flower power crap.
Well, if you wanna use a car, go right next Sunday. But Lord, I didn't go to work. I told the boss I was sick instead. Sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do. No, there ain't no cure for the summertime blues.
Of course there's heavier music in metal and doom metal, but I mean, 68, this was pretty different at the time, especially the cover of Summertime Blues, Eddie Cochran's song.
I got to take my problem to the United Nations. I told my congressman and he said, whoa, think this boy. Sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do. Lord, there ain't no cure for the summertime blues.
I mean, this is great, this part. Next question. Show an artist or group you got into primarily because of vinyl and record collecting. My 8th grade music teacher would play records on Friday. Of course, this is San Francisco, remember, 1967 actually, and turned the lights down. And she played this song, Heroine, by the Velvet Underground. So 1968, I bought this copy. My original copy, beautiful condition. I never peeled it. Can you imagine today if a teacher played a song called Heroine to their students? I mean, they're friggin' banning books and they're just so friggin' sensitive. I didn't become a junkie. I didn't lose my way, but I had been in records because of the Beatles and records for the 2 or 3 years prior. But I was expanding my knowledge and with underground radio in San Francisco and with teachers like Miss Caroline Schwartz, my music teacher. Thank you for this. And she told us about drone and drone music and the sound of a drum, which I had never heard before or never knew about. Even the Beatles did it on Tomorrow Never Knows, but I never knew what drone meant. And you got it right here. So that's some musical knowledge that I learned at 13 years old that you know, I remember to this day. Show a foreign or non-English speaking record, singing record. Bonus points if it's an import. Enrique Monafusco from Spain.
Sin patria, sin rey, sin sombra, sin techo, sin lobos que digan si tengo derecho, sin rumbo ni asfalto, peaje ni encaje, sin premio, sin precio, quiero ser salvaje.
This is such a heroic record. Dave from B-Core from Local Bandography turned me on to this several years ago, and it was my favorite album of that year, 2019. He has a new album coming out in a few months. Only to get this in Spain. What a beautiful, wait till this crescendo coming up. I think this is gorgeous. How beautiful is that?
Sin credo, sin ley, esa es mi certeza, no quiero un jardín solo.
I think he was in a Spanish punk band. I forget the name of the band. A few people have mentioned it. But this is gorgeous. You can't get it here. Seek it out. It's called Diagonal by Enrique Monefusco. I gotta see this guy. I follow on Instagram. I gotta see him live someday. Check out that beard, man. How cool is that? And Michael's next question was, show an album, a CD or a digital recording that you would like to be pressed to vinyl, put on vinyl. I don't think this ever came out in vinyl. Of course, this would have been a nice swan song to the end of the Kinks. And this is the Kinks to the Bone. And this is a double CD that came out in 1996. And these are some recordings done at Conch Studios, the Brother Davis Studios, the Tempestuous Brothers, Fighting Brothers, very much like the Gallagher Brothers in Oasis and the Everly Brothers. What's with it with brothers not getting along? They're infamous, but they recorded these. They're almost like unplugged sessions, not quite. There's some mixed live tracks cut in here. It's a double album. I mean, they do some covers of earlier songs like Celluloid Heroes, Picture Book, Village Green. Do you remember Walter? So disc 2 is almost like a greatest hits, but newly recorded at the time. And they're really wonderful versions. This came out on Guardian Records. This, just as far as I know, has never been on vinyl, and I would love this. You know, the CD is really good, and I'm a big fan. I hate these thick, big boy, bad boy CD things. What a waste. Produced by Ray Davis, of course, the Kinks. This needs to be on vinyl, back to the bone. And the last question confuses some people, but it's letter to the editor type of thing. Pick one of my musical or gear likes to editorialize. So if he's into certain music or certain gear that he's talked about on the show, let's just kind of talk about it, how it affects you, maybe. How you see it with him. And of course, for me, there's one thing that I have to do a shout out to him. I've been wanting to buy a new receiver, an integrated amp receiver for about 5 years now. I had a Rotel since I've had almost 20 years, 18 years by that point, which was great. It was a 5.1 surround. I just wanted to get back to basics, back to 2-channel. And I really wanted a good power to push these B&W speakers. You want to have some good power. And a lot of people feel B&W, Bow & Wilkins, these speakers are bright. And I'm in a bright room, as you can tell right now. And there was an amp, an integrated amp that I was looking at that I heard from 2 other people or read something about. And that's Hegel out of Norway, Norwegian company. And the H390 is not a cheap by any stretch. I ended up seeing Michael do a review. He bought one, did a review, and he ended up keeping his review copy. And I went back and forth with him about it, but he paid for it. I mean, it's not like he got it free, but I got a demo. I found a demo from my local Hawthorne Stereo in Seattle, and he brought it over and he said, hey, play with it for a month or 2. And I did, and it was like getting new speakers, getting a whole new system. It's 250 watts a channel, which is a lot of power. separate monoblocks in the amp. I won't get into too technical, but it changed my system, and it is amazing. It added depth to the music, the dynamics in all my records. I wanted to play almost every record in my collection again because it sounded so good. And there's things on the records and my speakers that I heard that I hadn't heard before. I've had these speakers about 5 years now. So thank you, Michael, for that, for the Hagel. I'm gonna show a little close up here, right here inserted, of this Hagel H390. There's no tone controls, it's all flat, and it is friggin' amazing. So thank you, Michael. The most cliche song I can play for Michael, Poetry Man. So long, Michael.
Cause your eyes, they light the night, they look right through me. La 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 la, you bashful boy, you're hiding something sweet, please give it to me, yeah, to me. Oh, talk to me some more.
You're a poetry man, Michael. Take care. Congratulations, Massey loves you.